Wales and Fiji, folks. Pool C. Was that the best game of the round, or is that just me? 32-26 goes down to the last pass of the game, which could have potentially decided it. Well, it would have been a kick that decided it if it had gone over, but no. Wales, wow. Maybe saving the best for last for this round. 32-26. We'll go through some key events, some stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts. Commiserations, Fiji fans. Man, you guys got close. Well done, Wales fans. You guys can breathe. Breathe again. How did this match go? Great crowd. Late kickoff, so maybe the heat not quite as bad as some of the daytime games, although they still had to stop for water breaks. The guys still looked pretty knackered at the end. Rowlands winning an early penalty at the breakdown. Very early on in the game means Biggar kicks us 3 points. So we're underway. And Fiji get their first chance. They are not opting for 3 points, remembering that Caleb Muntz got injured right before the start of the tournament. So we've got Tagitagivalu or potentially Lamani doing the goal kicking. Neither of them quite the accurate boot that we've seen from Muntz in recent times. But Wales' defence from that initial Fiji attack held and won a penalty. And then, man, Wales played some bloody attack in rugby. If we get to the stats a bit later, you'll see that Wales actually offloaded Fiji, which is not usual. Not what you think of a stereotypical Warren Gatland side up against Fiji, but they did. I mean, line-out move, George North with a line break, they get the ball wide. Josh Adams able to go over on the left wing. Liam Williams with the final pass. Missed conversion from Dan Biggar. He did miss a few points out there, but 8 points to 0. Pretty booming start from the Welsh. Like, a lot of people have been talking up this Fijian side. A lot of people have been writing off this Welsh side, but it was the Welsh side that started the better of the two. I mentioned the Fijian goal kicking in the absence of Caleb Muntz. 10 minutes, they get their first shot at goal. Tagitagivalu pushes it wide, and then the first few kind of really attacking phases that the Fijian guys have got, they end up knocking the ball on. So the handling maybe not quite there. However, it did finally click. Didn't take long. Only a few minutes after that missed penalty. Nasilasila, that guy's brilliant. He's brilliant. How many of you had him in your fantasy team? I did. Because he's amazing. He's the captain. He just goes through. I mean, it's a bounce pass, to be honest. It's maybe kind of one of those not really planned things, but heads up rugby. He catches a bounce pass and just runs straight between Biggar and Wainwright. One of them needed to get a better hit on him, but neither does, and he's got the gas to go over. So it's 8-7. Fiji right back in the game. And then they're in front with a quick-fire double. It's a scrum. It's an offload from who? Nasilasila, of course, to Radradra. Radradra gets it to Tagitagivalu. And bam, Fiji have gone from a disappointing start to being in front. 14 points to 8. But they concede penalty being offside. Biggar opts for a 3, which is a little bit of a settler. Habosi puts in a no-arms tackle. Wales up for touch this time. Maybe going for a little bit of the jugular. They maul it, they go close. Phases, close range, advantage, touch again. They start to go backwards, but then Nick Tompkins, much maligned sometimes. Nick Tompkins, he pops the ball to George North, who goes over, man, seemingly kind of out of nowhere. So, the Welsh guys have gone from being shell-shocked with a double conceded to getting a penalty, getting a converted try, and bam, man, 18 points to 14, they're in front. Lead changes, actual lead changes. A lot of the other games have been missing this, and a bunch of tries. Happy days indeed. Fiji win the restart though, just to make the momentum slip back there, where Revuthamanda kind of slaps it back, really athletic. Wales concede a penalty, and they start to get warned for their back chat. A bit too much yapping at the referee. He doesn't appreciate that. Fiji get a 7-meter line out. They maul it. They go through about 9 phases. It looks like Mawi's gone over. But right as he's forcing the ball, he seems to kind of just lose it, or it hits a foot of one of his own players, but it's no try. I think Simon Rowalui, post-match, was a little bit frustrated by some of the calls. They did have a few tries disallowed. That was one of them. Then Revuthamanda puts a seatbelt tackle in on Gareth Davies. That one's a penalty conceded, and then both sides at that point get warned for too much yapping at the referee. So Dan Biggar takes his attention, I'm assuming he was part of it because he's got a bit of a mouth on him, from yapping at the referee to yapping at his own players who are trying to run it out of their own 22 as the clock is in the red to go into half-time. His swear words are well and truly picked up on the camera as he gives his boys a full earful and basically tells them they should have kicked the ball out and gone into the sheds with that lead. Either way, they do get the ball out, and halftime. Halftime, still a close game. Run meters 206 to 315 to Fiji. Only 7-5, the kicks from hand. Really low. A lot of the games in this heat have been like 20, 25 kicks aside by halftime. But it's only 7-5. Clean breaks 3-2 to Wales. Tackles, though, 111 to 41. Wales have been doing a lot of defending. They've had less possession, 41%, less territory, 32%, but they are in front on the scoreboard. Second half gets underway with Fiji conceding a penalty. Dan Biggar misses that one as well. So he's missed, 8 points from the boot. Conversion and a couple of penalties, but no matter because the game obviously continues on. Wales are showing some pretty bloody good work rate. They put a little dink and kick through. Their boys follow up. I forget which Fijian guy grabbed it. Was it Habosi? Or was it Robert Tamanda? Grabbed it and was just shoved immediately into touch. Great work rate from the Welsh guys on the kick chase, though. And then that leads to a Welsh line-out. We're able to spin it wide to Rees-Zammit. But then Habosi smashes him on Habosi's left wing on the Welsh right wing. So, yeah, man, good bit of play both ways. There's a lot to like about this game. There's not really a dull moment. There is, though, one of the most insane tries you'll see. It's a try that you might have thought the Fijians would do, but it's from Wales. It's from Wales, man. They get a scrum penalty, and then Tompkins is able to beat Radradra with the advantage. A little wee Jenkins step. Nick Tompkins beats Semi Radradra. A little bit of a mismatch in terms of like the reputation. You'd think it'd be the flip side, but no. Wales have got the offload game going, and then Jack Morgan, the captain, an open side flanker with the cross kick, which still hits the grass, and it's a bit of an awkward one, but Rees-Zammit's able to pounce on it and go over for a try. That's an unlikely series of events, but man, it works. So 25-14, Wales are extending their lead, and Fiji at that point, I honestly think, lost their way a little bit. They would find it again come the last 10 minutes, but they had a line out on 56 minutes. Nobody jumped. It was just a bit of a bizarre one. I mean, their defense was still pushing the Welsh guys back. Dan Biggar's back looked to be pretty sore, but he kept playing. There was a bunch of Fijian pressure eventually, causing the Welsh guys to concede a few penalties. Vili Mata went close from a tap. Yellow card warning for the Welsh guys. Too many penalties conceded. And then Botia knocks it over the line, which would have been a potential try if he'd been able to hold on to it. So that's 2 tries the Fijian guys have missed. Maybe that's what Simon Rowlalu was talking about in his post-match. And then, Nayat Levu knocks it on, and Dan Biggar responds with a big 50-22. I know a lot was talked about George Ford after the England game, but I think Dan Biggar also has a similar impact on his team and being able to drive them forward. So that 50-22 leads to a maul. The maul leads to advantage. Tagitagivalu gets yellow carded for pulling it down. Wales go again, and it's a maul try for Elliot D. So that maul try pretty much goes back to Dan Biggar's 50-22 from the loose ball. Heads up play, boom, spots the space. He's got the execution, so he's not going to get any try assist for it, but that's where I reckon it goes back to. So 32-14, that's game over. Surely that's game over. But no, 68 minutes, Domachowski gets yellow carded. The Welsh guys' warning for too many penalties conceded was still in effect. So it's 14-14. Tuisue gets one after a huge period of pressure. I mentioned him being kind of unfair to come off the bench because he's such a unit. Not surprising he gets over, but it's a try, 14-14. So now it's 32-21. Surely the Fijians can't get back into it though, right? They are going full bore. Absolutely full bore. The intensity is insane. Wales are defending for their lives. The crowd are loving every minute of it. Then Ravai looks to have potentially scored, but they ping him for a double movement. They do go back for an advantage, but that's another try disallowed. They did get it eventually, though, through Dogier from close range, the prop. So 32-26, it's all to play for. How is this going to finish? Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the villain? Kurivoli kicks it with like a minute to go, which was surprising. I know you're in your own like 22, but you think Fiji are probably going to run it from there, chasing the game with a minute to go. But he kicks it. But then Liam Williams decides to kind of do him a favour by kicking it out on the full in return. So it's a good bit of field position for Fiji. It's a line out. Fiji attack for about 12 phases. Finally get the Welsh defence spread thin enough that Radradra is out on the left wing on his own. They get the ball to him. He needs to go over in the corner and hopefully they can get the conversion, but he shells the pass. Unbelievable. Of all the guys in the world you would have thought would have caught that and maybe found a way to run it under the sticks, maybe Radradra would be up there as your most preferred candidates, but he knocks it on and that is the game. Unbelievable. My heart was pounding. I don't even have a horse in this race, so credit to Fiji, man. You get 2 losing bonus points, and you guys are by no means out of it. And credit to Wales, man. You guys played some pretty exciting rugby, but also just defended like demons. Run meters 378 to 617. Fiji with more. Possession 61 Fiji. Territory 65 Fiji. Clean breaks 6-5 to Wales. So they still look sharp. Defenders beaten 33-24 to Fiji, but both sides showing some attacking flair, which has been something a little bit lacking in this Welsh side. Turnovers conceded, though, 15-7, with Fiji conceding more. I know they had a lot more ball, but they dropped a bit too much. That's going to be one thing they'll look back on, plus the disallowed tries. Also, penalties conceded 17-9 is horrendous for Wales. That's one thing they'll want to clean up. But as I said, they did do a lot of defending. And with defending often does come penalties conceded. 239 tackles to 70. Not many sides have that kind of balance and still manage to come away with a win. But despite only having 39% of the ball, they offloaded 9 times to Fiji's 8. So Wales still play some pretty crazy rugby, man. And they get a bonus point win out of it. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Like some people were doubting Wales could even win the game, but they get a bonus point win. Individuals, Jack Morgan, 21 tackles, 6 carries, plus a kick for his try assist. Rees-Zammit, 8 defenders beaten, a couple of clean breaks, 52 metres. George North, try, 5 defenders beaten from him. Radradra, despite that last shelling of a pass, a try assist, 5 defenders beaten, 108 metres. Nasilasila gets a try, 5 defenders beaten. Matavesi, 7 from 7 tackles. Yeah, crazy stuff. Wales have got Portugal next up, and Fiji have got Australia. This pool is that crazy. You could see Fiji beating Australia, and then Australia beating Wales. Like it could come down to bonus points. Who knows? But a lot of pressure on Fiji for that game because it's now they're in a do or die position, which Australia and Wales are not in after their kind of opening wins. But there you go, folks. You guys let us know your thoughts. I am going to go and finish watching Chile and Japan now. So that video will be up shortly. If you guys are wondering where it's at, I watched them out of order just because of the times they were on in the morning over here in New Zealand. But yes, let us know your thoughts on the game. Subscribe to the channel if you stuck this long through the video. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.